Good morning, Facebook. It's day five of the 30-day Facebook Live challenge. And you can hear some traffic and see some traffic behind me this morning. I'm at a very, very special place, and I want to show you where I am in just a minute. But here's the thing. It's called the Blue Hole, and it is a destination right around the corner of my house, about maybe a mile and a half or something from where I live. And it's the largest body of fresh water in the Florida Keys. And a lot of times in the mornings you can come out here and it's kind of quiet, but I came out here this morning and you can see other cars, so I'm a little nervous. You know how I am about these Facebook Live things. So I'm going to be doing a Facebook Live out at the water, and there's a few tourists around, so that freaks me out a little bit. But let's go see it, because I want to show you, and then I want to talk to you about something that kind of came up as a controversial discussion the other day in a group I'm in. I'm going to try to shield you from that sun. Okay. All right, I'm going to walk around here to the Blue Hole. Now, the Blue Hole is, like I said, the largest body of fresh water in the Florida Keys. Back whenever Hurricane Wilma came through here in 2005, we had 6 to 8 feet storm surges across our entire island. So the Blue Hole got completely taken over by salt water, so it was no longer just fresh water. And the one thing about it is, a lot of the fish that were in the ocean started mixing with the fresh water. And so whenever you'd come out here at night, you could see the mosquitoes lighting close to the water, and you could see the tarpon jumping and other things that are not historically freshwater fish that were out here. The cool thing is, there are 2 gators. Good morning. There are 2 gators out here, and there's a small one that's a female and a bigger one that's a guy. Okay, are you ready for the largest? You ready for the largest body of fresh water in the Florida Keys? All right, I'm gonna turn around so you can see it. All right, here it is. Okay, so here's what we've got. Most of you probably have catfish ponds in your backyard that are bigger than these. Most of my uncles did growing up. But again, we just had another hurricane, so we've had a die-off of the fish that were freshwater fish. There was an albino catfish that was in here. There was a bunch of turtles. They had those turtles that I call them pig-nosed turtles, but they look like they're soft-shell turtles. And they had all kinds of other things and crazy types of fish in here. And you can look at the water, they're all gone. Now, I was looking for the gator because I wanted to see if I could show you the gator this morning. Let me see if he's around here anywhere. I don't see him. I'm sure the gator is, he's been around here. I know he's been spotted in the last couple of days, so he made it through the hurricane. Both of them did. They've both been spotted. But I'm sure their fishing has been, or their eating has been drastically reduced after some of the die-off. Because what happened is, again, the salinity of this is off because it got overtaken with storm surge that was salt water from the ocean. It put some ocean fish in here. Now, part of the reason we have this is fresh water, and again, I'll show you, it's like a pond. Let's not fool ourselves. One of the things that we had here, this is in the middle, and you can see all out there, those trees sticking up, is the National Key Deer Federation Wildlife Preserve for the key deer. The key deer are only here on Big Pine Key. Good morning, Luann. How are you? Sorry if it's a little cold where you are. It's 80 degrees here, a high of 83 today. So the key deer are a version of a subspecies of the white-tailed deer, and they are about the size of a good-sized Labrador Retriever. So, they're very, very small, and they only live here on my island. They've migrated to a couple of the surrounding islands here on Big Pine Key. So they're native to here, and we protect them. They're federally protected. There's less than 1,000 of them left in the wild right now, and so we all that live on the island take our care of these precious little deer very, very very, very seriously. And there are groups that go around, try to protect them, try to get cars driving through to slow down. We have lower speed limits coming through here, all in an effort to try to save the key deer. One of the cool things we did have, and I was looking, used to be, with this thing being backwards, okay, used to be right over here in these trees. We had a pair, the first ever pair of nesting anhingas that had come in, and they actually had I guess you call their babies fledglings too, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a ornithologist. That's the right word. But we had a nesting pair of anhingas, which are normally from South America. They don't normally come up to this far, and they don't normally nest here, but they were here for like a year and a half, and I don't know that they've been seen since Irma. And so last time I came here, there was the mom and the dad and the 2 babies, and they had a big old nest over here, and they were probably living off the fish that were in here. So kind of interesting. But again, this fresh water, being this water source right here being fresh, provides a great water source for the key deer. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm going to have to check my history, believe this is an old an old quarry where they would pull out the coral. I don't know what the yeah, I think it's coral. Anyway, I don't know what they call it, but anyway, it used to be an old quarry, and I think it's filled back up. I think that's the way the story goes. So I have to check up on my Big Pine history so I don't mislead you. Anyway, I wanted to talk to you about something. And I'll go over here so it's a little easier to see. Okay, maybe it's a little easier to see this way. All right, so in a group the other day, someone posted an article to Daniel J. Lewis had written an article talking about, oh man, did you just see that? I don't know what that was, but it was right behind me. Do you think, oh, crocodile? Probably shouldn't turn my back to the water because... Oh Lord, if I go down, this video's going viral. Quartz, okay, quartz, maybe. That's pretty cool, Luann. If it was quartz, I'd love to have a little bit of that around. So, the article from Daniel J. Lewis, which most of you know him, he's with the Audacity to podcast and that sort of thing, and he posted a article that said, you should not post, why you should not post your audio podcast. Oh, is it granite? Wow. I guess we shouldn't take it for granted. So, I always love it whenever I hear people use that incorrectly. But, cool. So, yeah, so here's an old granite quarry, I guess. So, the article with Daniel J. Lewis said, why you shouldn't post your audio podcast to YouTube. Hey, Billy, good to see you. I know, I bet you don't hear too many Southerners. Oh my gosh, Luann, National Geographic. Probably this is like, tales of Mythbusters with National Geographic, and I'm probably giving you the wrong information. So the Discovery Channel can come sue me. So anyway, so the article said why you should not post your video podcast to YouTube. And it brought up an interesting conversation in another group I had, and I kind of wanted us to talk about it here. And it was essentially, he was saying that YouTube, of course, we know it's the largest, Luann, I'm not an expert, nor do you play one on TV, a stone quarry expert. So anyway, the article's premise was YouTube is it's the number 2 search engine in the world, right? And so it's a huge, huge platform. And if you really want to do something with your YouTube channel that basically, and I'm again summarizing, and you can go to his website, and I'll even probably put a link to his article once I go back and update the comments here. So, so yeah, Liz, I know. Wait to hear this. You might change your mind. So the bottom line is, he was saying that because essentially what happens, and Libsyn has made this extremely easy. Simple Social Press has made this very easy. There's several tools that have come along that have made it very easy to happen. And what happens is when you're publishing your MP3 file and your JPEG audio artwork file for your podcast, it pulls it in and creates an MP4 file that is a video file that then can be posted to Facebook, it can be posted to YouTube and that sort of thing. But when people hit play on YouTube, they're not really seeing a video. They're seeing the static image of your artwork or your podcast artwork, whatever it is you have for that particular that particular show, if you have episode artwork or if you have just your podcast album cover. And what Daniel J. Lewis was saying is that it's basically exploiting the channel. And I get that. I completely get that. And I also know some podcasters that actually get pretty decent in views on YouTube from their audio podcast being on a YouTube. And one of the things that Daniel J. Lewis said in his article, he was talking about how if you really want to eventually get some traction from your YouTube channel, or you want to actually get engagement from your YouTube channel, which is what the idea most of the time is when we go out on channels, not just to be an SEO type thing. But he was saying that you're going to get the highest bounce rates when you don't have actual video on your video. The other part is, I mean, who knows at what point in time, whenever YouTube will basically say, I'm kicking out all these people that are just dropping audio in here and not really doing videos on YouTube. So that could be an issue. The other thing is, think about it this way. As a podcaster, I don't know about you, but nothing kind of makes me feel like somebody's cheating with podcasting, because we all know how much work podcasting is, right? I mean, you get guests, you record a show, you edit it, or you pay me to edit it and do all the uploading and that sort of thing. It's not cheap, it's not easy, it's not efficient, and it all has to be done to get your podcast out there. So it kind of makes us mad whenever we see people that are using other things and just posting them to the podcast. Let me give you an example. A church service. They have their church service anyway, and then they basically just strip the audio out of their video and post it as a podcast. And there was nothing podcast oriented about that podcast. The biggest thing you have to remember is that in your videos, if you ultimately want engagement, and what YouTube has been doing now, remember they created YouTube Red. They also limited the, the monetization scheme until you have like 10,000 views per your channel and all that sort of thing. But they're also going to be able to see who's bouncing and who's only getting people, watching for more than 30 seconds and that sort of thing. Okay, Liz says, disagree. I find lots of great podcasts on YouTube. All platforms are fair game in my opinion. Yeah, and there are people that agree with that too. I'm torn about it because I think it really ultimately depends whether you're in it for the long game with your YouTube channel or whether you're in it for just SEO video, okay? And then it's hard for us to kind of recognize that, and it's hard for us to reconcile that, but we're going to have to use video. And if you really want audience engagement with your video, let's see, Liz says, I then go to iTunes and listen to the podcast. I feel it's just another way people to find the podcast, as long as it's clear that's audio. Yeah. No, I completely get that. And I have a lot of clients that use it effectively. If you're going to post videos, real videos to your YouTube channel, you might want to just consider something different. Even if you just post a video teaser, maybe you're getting ready to interview somebody on Skype even, and you just want to go live with a quick video, do your Facebook Live and say, hey, I'm so excited, I'm getting ready to interview this person, blah, blah, blah. At least it's you there talking about it. Then you can point them to the episode. I think we're going to have to get some real video going on rather than just sort of modifying what we're doing to fit the, having these conversations. So it's up to you. I would ultimately, just monitor your YouTube channel, because it's one of those things where a lot of times we just push it over there and we're never over there to see what's going on or how many views. I agree. It's a great search engine and it's a great way to get the word out about your podcast. One thing I will tell you is it doesn't have to be terribly hard to get your videos to YouTube. I'm using a tool that my friend Hani Mora created called repurpose.io, and I'm pulling my Facebook Live videos automatically into my YouTube channel. And I think that's legitimate. The problem, it's not that I'm not leaving them on Facebook or anything like that, but one of the things about it is Facebook you can't search for Facebook. Like, you have a hard enough time finding my videos once they go out of your timeline. They're not searchable, they're not indexable, they're not taggable as far as, keywords or categories or anything like that, like it could be with a with a YouTube video. So you can use tools that will pull in your video or anything like that from your Facebook to your YouTube channel. Let's see. Okay, Sam's got a good comment here. Sam's always a bastion of wisdom. Let's see. Don't know if you mentioned it, but Daniel included stats showing that most of the audio-only YouTube cast aren't even finishing playback. Plays alone aren't indicative of a successful YouTube video. That's true. And I think whenever they get those metrics of, YouTube can monitor, unlike podcasts, how long it was before somebody clicked away, or how long it was that people watched and listened and that sort of thing. And I think ultimately, I have a feeling at some point in time, YouTube will probably prohibit people from getting on there. Hey, Marion, good to see you. I have a feeling at some point in time, YouTube might go ahead and restrict those people, or basically say you're just spamming our channel. So I don't really want to fall afoul of YouTube or anything like that. I also don't want to have any of my potential listeners feel like they're being duped. So that's why you see my mug here on camera trying to do live video, because it needs to be, it needs to be done. It's part of our whole strategy here, and saturating the different channels. Just use the channel. So it's an interesting conversation, and I would love to hear more about what you say, and the, the success, or the, the interesting things you're having from putting your show on YouTube. Like I say, it's not hard to do, and it's one of those things that you can use technology even to pull Facebook Lives or even uploaded Facebook videos into your YouTube channel. So it's pretty easy to do, and it's pretty seamless for you from a technology standpoint. So there's no reason not to do it. But at the same time, if you're the only thing your YouTube channel is filled with is audio podcast, and there's no real video, just realize it probably doesn't leave a very good taste in people's mouth about your YouTube channel, and you probably will not necessarily have a lot of people watching your videos all the way through to the end. So you can see I'm moving a little bit. The no-see-ums are out this morning. There's not much wind this morning, and I thought I'd come out today because we're going to get a few thunderstorms toward the end of the week. I'll probably have to be back inside, and I like to be somewhere different every morning to do a Facebook Live video. But we're out here today, and there's not much wind. It's beautiful, sunny, 80 degrees. Going to be a high of 83 today, and we'll get the storms later, I guess, whenever they come in. We're going to cool things off. I think toward the weekend we're going to be down in the 60s. So we're going to freeze. You'll see me in a sweater or something. I don't know. Toboggan, maybe? I don't know. All right, so great conversation. Will I put this on my YouTube channel? Yes, Liz, it's going automatically. Like I say, I connected repurpose.io to my Facebook. So whether I post live videos or uploaded videos, live streams on Facebook or videos on Facebook, I'm pulling them also into my YouTube channel automatically. So there's actually no posting that has to take place for me, because I'm using that software to do it. So that's a good thing to do. And if you're doing live streaming already, you may as well put them in a place like YouTube, where they can be stored, where they can be indexed, where they can be searched upon, and where they can be found, and not just leave them in your Facebook timeline where they can't have all that stuff done. So repurpose.io, yes, and I'll go ahead and put the link in the notes whenever I update it and that sort of thing. And I can even do a quick walkthrough and show you how I connected it, so it's really easy to do that. So anyway, thank you guys for coming. Today's day five of the 30-day Facebook challenge, Facebook Live challenge. And so we're talking about podcasting every day. I'm trying to take you to somewhere different, so you're not just seeing my backdrop of my terrible walls in my office or anything like that, or not just seeing the same thing every day. So you're at the Blue Hole this morning. The Blue Hole is on Big Pine Key. It's the largest freshwater body of fresh water in the Florida Keys, that has now been sort of taken over by salt water from Hurricane Irma. So still no crocodile. I look and scan the water. I don't see them swimming. They're around. Hopefully they're not out eating any of our little key deer. So we hope that's not happening. But anyway, you guys, thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. If you have an opinion or something that you've had a success with your YouTube channel as a podcast, put it down here. Let's continue the conversation. Like I say, I referenced Daniel J. Lewis's article, and I'll go back and link to that. But it's one of those things that I think it's worthy to hear all opinions of. Thank you, Liz. I appreciate that so much. But I think it's worthy to hear all opinions of, because we don't necessarily, unless we talk about it, we don't know what all those opinions are. So do feel free to continue the conversation below. I'll be back all day kind of commenting and that sort of thing. So if you watch this after the live stream ended, please let me know, because, granted, Daniel J. Lewis he's a stand-up guy. He's got a lot of integrity, and he's got some good opinions, and he's very thoughtful in what he posts. But again, he's one guy entitled to one opinion, and I haven't made up my mind yet. I don't think there's a blanket statement for either, for any niche, whether it's podcasting or whatever. I don't think there's one thing you can say that will apply to everyone. I think it depends on your niche, and it depends on all that. So, darn, your video was not playing right for me. Oh, Marion, I'm so sorry. Maybe it'll go back later whenever it was. I don't know. I did have a couple connections issues out there at the Blue Hole. I'm on the back side of the island, so it's probably far away from the cell tower. I always have a problem with that. So, all right, you guys, I'm going to go before you get sun in your eyes here. Have a good day. And listen, Get inspired to do something crazy with your podcast. Shake it up. Shake your listeners up. Do something weird. Join us, right? We're all doing something weird. All right, you guys, have a wonderful, wonderful day. See you tomorrow, day 6. Bye.